Hello pilots of the internet and welcome to Foldable Flight. In this video I'm teaching you how to make 3 amazing paper airplanes that I would classify as hybrids. Now what does that mean? That means they're somewhere between being a dart and a glider. They don't fly quite as fast as a dart and they don't glide quite as well as the best gliders, but they have a really nice blend of speed and glide and they're all excellent paper airplanes. So why am I featuring the F-15 on my channel for a 3rd time now? And that is because template reveal in 3, 2, 1. I have finally designed a template for the F-15 jet, which is the most popular plane on the channel. So it has been a long time coming that I design a template and share it with all of my patrons on patreon.com/foldableflight. And as you can see, there's also a template for Ember and a template for Aethon as well. And I think all 3 of these turned out very, very well. So if you want to fold planes that look like this, head over to patreon.com/foldableflight and become a patron there. So with that out of the way, let's see these planes in flight, and then I'll teach you how to fold them. All you will need in order to fold Ember is an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of paper, and we will begin by folding the right edge to the left edge. Make sure you make this as symmetrical as possible, it's always important, and will make your paper airplane fly a lot better in the end if you take your time on this step. And now, with it folded in half and my folded edge on the right edge, I'm going to fold the top edge here to my left edge, and my crease should go right through that top left corner. Okay, and now I'm going to open that up and open it all the way into this orientation here. And you can see the right side here is a mountain crease, the left side is a valley crease. I actually want to flip this over and reverse this crease here, the one that is now a mountain crease on this side. So I'm just kind of working that in the opposite direction, gently making sure that everything stays in its proper alignment. Okay, so now when I flip this back over, you can see both of these are mountain creases, and I'm going to kind of poke this point here, and I want to I'm working just with one side, the right side in, and I'm trying to land this crease here along my center crease. And then I'm looking for the intersection of this crease, and I want to make sure that's the top point, and I'm just going to crease out from there. And now I can bring this other side in, and I'm looking to land this corner right here on my center crease as well. And I can flatten that like so. I know that's a little bit tricky, but hopefully you were able to follow that. And now I can stand this vertically like so. And I'm going to squash fold this by pushing down on the spine of the pocket while forcing it open with my thumb. Make sure that you're forcing it open all the way to this point up here, and land your center crease on the center crease of the bottom layer, and then you can flatten it like so. Now I'll go ahead and take the right flap and push it to the left, and I'm going to fold this edge here into the center. Okay. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. And now I'll go ahead and open this flap up and fold the outer edge to the crease I just made. Just like so. And I can fold that back in, and then I'll push these flaps to the other side and do the same thing here, opening this up and folding my outer edge to this existing crease. And I'll close that up. And now I can open this and we are ready for the next step. So you can see I want to basically pull this point here up as far as it will go while landing this edge along the center crease. And you'll think that you can go all the way to this edge right here, but actually it will catch on this little edge of this layer just a little bit before getting to this edge. So I'm just pulling that up, and I want to make sure that I'm landing this edge here on my center crease. And you may not be able to see it, but my horizontal crease is just below that layer there. And I'll do the same thing on this side. And now I'll unfold both of those, and I'm going to fold this edge here to land on the crease I just made. And you can see, again, there's going to be a little gap between this edge and the horizontal bottom edge of this top pocket. And once I do that, I can fold this side the same way. And you'll see they overlap each other just a little bit. And now I'm going to treat this whole thing as one tab and fold that tab into this pocket here, like so. And now I can just fold the paper airplane in half away from myself along the existing center crease, and I just have to fold the wings. Now you can really fold wings pretty much however you want with this plane. You can give it very wide wings or very narrow wings. You could fold this edge here to the bottom edge, but I like to fold my wings a little bit bigger than that. I start with the crease just a little bit above the nose, and I slope it up the back and really just estimate up the back edge exactly where I want it. If you're using the template, that'll be marked out for you. But again, like I said, you can fold these pretty much however you want. So let's just fold it like this for this example, and I'll flip it over and fold this side to match. And we'll open that up. And I would advise you give it just the slightest dihedral angle or even just flat wings on top. And you're probably not going to need any up elevator at all. This should fly really nice and level for you, even without bending the back edges up. Though if it does dive, of course, you can bend the back edges up just slightly to compensate for that. And with that, good luck flying your plane. All you will need in order to fold F-15 is an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of paper and a pair of scissors. And with that, we'll begin by folding the right edge to the left edge. With it folded in half, go ahead and fold your top edge to your folded edge just to make a triangle like you do with so many paper airplanes. And you can go ahead then and flip the paper over, fold the other side to match. And now we'll go ahead and open the paper up. And the next step is to fold this top point down to your bottom point, like so. Be sure to land your point on the center crease, and then you can crease all the way across the page. And now fold this point back up just far enough to reveal the bottom edge of these triangles. And you want to be creasing right across that edge. Okay, I'm now going to open the paper up. And I'm going to fold this edge into the center, but I'm not going to crease all the way down. I'm only creasing to this first crease right here. So I'm going to get that in alignment, and I crease just to this point here and all the way to the top. And then I can open that up, and I'll do the same thing on the other side. Again, I'm just creasing to that first crease right here to the front. And I'll open that up. And now I want to fold down on this crease here, fold up on this crease here, and the next step is to fold this edge in like so, and you can see we get this weird situation where the paper doesn't want to lie flat. And basically I want to reach into the outer pocket here, not this pocket, and fan it open all the way. I want the point of this pocket to be all the way up to that edge there. And now I'm going to swivel this pocket open as far as it will go, and you can see this edge here kind of catches at this corner. And basically I want to flatten it so that my crease goes right from this point here to that corner there. And now I'll repeat those steps on the other side. So I'm swinging this into the middle and opening up this pocket here all the way to this point right there. And now I kind of just flatten that so that my crease goes from there to there, just like so. And once I've done that, I can flatten this outer crease as well. Now I'm going to go ahead and open this up and pull these layers out of the middle like that and swing it to the right side, and I'll open this up and pull this layer out as well, swing it to the opposite side, and your plane should look like this. The next step is to fold this bottom edge to this point here, and you can see our reference is right where this crease, this vertical crease, intersects this edge here. And basically I'm folding so that the edge is going to land right on that point, the intersection of this crease and that edge, and my crease should go right to this corner. Once I do that on one side, I'll go ahead and just fold the other side in the same way. And your plane should now look like this. Now I'm just going to take those creases that we just made and reverse them. So I'm just kind of bending the paper in the opposite direction and tucking the crease under all those other layers, or tucking the flap under all those other layers. Like so. Make it nice and flat. Do that on both sides. And now your plane should look like this. Now I'm going to go ahead and fold in on this existing crease, like so. Do that on the other side as well. And I want to now fold this point so that it lands on my center crease. Sorry, let me flatten that out just a little bit. I'm folding this point here so it lands on the center crease. And I'm going to use this point right here as my other reference. So you can see when I start to pull that, it kind of catches at that corner. So I want my crease to run right to this point here and this corner to land on my center crease. Once I've done that, I can crease like so, and I'll do the same thing on the other side. So I'm just pulling that in right to land next to my other point, like so. And that looks perfect. Now I'm going to close my plane in half. But as I do that, I want to swing this flap here around the other one, and I'm going to tuck this little flap into this pocket on that side, like so. So you can see that's going to want to hold everything together in the middle, but I need to fold the plane in half as I do that. And now we are ready to fold the wings. And we fold the wings by folding this edge here to the bottom edge. I'll do the same thing on the other side, just flipping it over, folding this side to match. And I want to focus on this back corner here and make sure I'm landing it this corner on the corner of the wing there. Okay, and you can see we are almost done with this plane, but now we want to cut our fins. So I'm going to fold it in half this way here. And I'm going to find a point about an inch from this corner, and anything close to an inch is going to be fine. But basically, here's my grid. 1 inch from that corner there is where I want to start my cut. And I'm going to cut on a slight diagonal, and my cut will go just about an inch, maybe a little more than an inch into the plane. And again, holding my wings in alignment, I want to make another cut. And I'm just cutting out the rest of this triangle, and I want this cut to be perpendicular to this edge right here. And there you go. So now you can see we have our fins cut out. Fold your wings down like this and fold your fins up. And you want this crease you're making to be parallel to this crease here. So there's one, flip it over, fold your other wing, or your other fin rather, to match. And there you go. This is a finished F-15. And experiment with how much up elevator you need. I find that it does tend to dive if you don't give it any up elevator at all. So I mean a very small bend in the back edge. If you give too much up elevator, it will stall. And if you find that sweet spot, it will glide really, really far. So with that said, good luck flying your plane. All you will need in order to fold Aethon is an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of paper, and you might also want a pen or something pointy in order to make the last step a little bit easier. You don't need it, but it will help. With that in mind, let's begin by folding the right edge to the left edge. Okay, and now I'm going to fold this loose edge here to my folded edge. And I'll go ahead, flip it over, and do the same thing on this side, taking that edge to the folded edge. Okay, and now I'll open the paper up into this orientation here where these can open up. And now I'm going to fold the top edge here into the center just to make a triangle. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. And now I'll just go ahead and unfold all the way back to this orientation. So now I'm going to fold this top edge down, and I want my crease to go right through these points where these creases are converging. And so I'm just folding, looking for the point. And I'm actually going to rotate this just to bring it closer to my vision and really make sure that you're creasing right at the point where these creases converge. Get that placed on both sides, and make sure also that your creases here line up with your creases on the layer behind it. Okay, and now we can go ahead and open the paper back up into this orientation. And I'm going to close on this crease right here. You can see this is actually in the correct position already. This is a valley crease, this is a mountain crease. Both of those are correct. So if I pull in on that side and close this up, you can see I end up with this kind of triangular tab, and that's exactly what we want. So I'll close on that crease and push on this crease here and collapse it just like so. And your plane should look like this. The next step is to fold this point here to this left point. And as I do that, you'll see also that this corner here lands right on the center crease, or should. So make sure that it does. And once I do that, I can open it up, and I'll do the same thing on the other side, folding this point here to that side. And now we can open the paper up. And the next step is to fold this edge here to this diagonal crease we just made. And when we do it on one side, of course, we're going to do it here on the other side as well. Okay. So now we are going to go ahead and fold this open using this existing crease here as our hinge. I'll do the same thing on this side, like so. And we're basically going to try to create some tabs to close up into these pockets here. And you can see if I fold in on this crease and this crease at the same time, we end up getting 2 tabs. This is just an example, you don't have to follow that. But the tabs are on the outside of the plane, which is the problem. Basically, I want to collapse these so that they end up simultaneously on the inside of the plane, and I can tuck this in. So that's a little bit difficult. So I need to do it one side at a time, which is going to make it hard to show you exactly how to do it, but I'm going to do the best job that I can. So I want to highlight this crease right here. For you, it is probably a valley fold currently. You need that to become a mountain fold. And this here is already a valley fold. That's great. So basically, if I could do it on both sides at the same time, I would, but I can't. I'm going to, on the left side first, fold down on this crease from this point here to that point there. And I'll fold back out on this crease. So this crease right here is going to land along this crease. And I know it's a little bit tricky, so I'm folding down, folding back out on this crease here. And you can see this point here is landing on that point over there. And with the plane in this 3-dimensional shape, I close up this flap, and this point should go all the way to the top point of my plane. Okay, so the first side isn't that bad. The second side gets harder because the first side is already locked into place. So I'm going to kind of collapse this in like so, and I'm going to flatten the whole plane into this shape right like this. But I want this tab to go inside the plane as I do that. So you can see the shape of the tab. And then I now need to fold this forward, and it needs to go on the left side of the inside of that tab. And I know all that's very tricky, but you can see what I'm doing here, hopefully, as I tuck that in and push it forward like so. And if you want, you can use your pin to really try to get that point all the way back to the front like that. And now I can go ahead and flatten my plane out, and maybe as you do that, massage it into the proper shape. And it should look like this. I know that's tricky. I'm sorry, there's not an easy way to teach that. And you're also going to want to, once you have it in this shape, kind of sweep out on this and make it nice and flat on either side again. Okay. And now I'll fold the plane in half like so. And the next step is to fold the wings. And I want to begin my crease a little bit above the nose here and have it sweep up to the back here. And it's just an estimation. There's not a precise measurement for this. If you're using the template, it will be marked out for you. Otherwise, just fold wings kind of the size you want them to be. Of course, the narrower wings you make, the faster it will fly. The wider the wings are, the more it will have a glide to it. So, this is how I chose to fold mine this time. Fold yours however you like. And there you go. This is a finished Aethon. You may find that you need a bit of up elevator. In fact, I find it very likely that you will. So just bend the back edges of the wings up slightly. Make sure you have a dihedral angle. And with that, good luck flying your plane.